This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
This is Montserrat culture, we'll be proud of it forever.
I'm fine, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Glad you could come on. So, tell us who you are and which part of the island you're from.
Oh, my name is Jo-Annah Richards, and I'm from Kingsale in the south side of Montserrat. Yeah, I lived there until obviously the volcano started, and then lived in the north for a while, and then since '97 I've lived in England.
Mm-hmm.
Living in East London at the moment.
Okay. Well, what was it like growing up in Kingsale?
Fun. Basically, I was my own person. Like, obviously I had to do my schoolwork and stuff, but then apart from that,
right,
I just went and did what I had to do.
And what are some of the things you remember from Kingsale? I mean, beside Gabby Bread and them.
School, remember, like, Kingsale School, for me, Kingsale School was, like, the most fun. Like, I don't know, did you go to Kingsale School, or?
Oh, yeah. We all did.
Because I remember, like, when I went to Kingsale School, like, every Friday, like, any problem you had every Friday, everybody would start to talk. They'll be, like, fighting every Friday. That's one of the main memories we have of, like, Kingsale Primary School. Apart from that, I had a lot of freedom in Kingsale, because obviously in Montserrat, there's not a lot of crime. So you could, like, walk about your business, go somebody's house and play. Obviously the beach.
Right.
Like, weekend was just beach. That was it. So for me, my childhood was a lot of fun.
And I mean, and you used to go home in the afternoons and then, go back to Kingsale School, go play in the schoolyard.
No, me never allowed to go back that far.
Oh, okay.
That was too far. That was a lot of walking,
Right. Well, the Kingsale School was up in Emmersgut and you were on Kingsale on
the main road.
Right.
So that was too much walking.
And the beach was practically in your yard then?
Yeah, just like 20 steps away from my back door. And I was on the beach. As much as I could go, I went to the beach.
Okay. So how long have you been writing?
I have been writing since I could ever remember, because, like, with my father, English was very important. So he had this English book that I had to read every day about the parts of speech and stuff. But the first thing I remember writing was a poem about the volcano when I was 10, and it went into an anthology of poems called Out of the Mouth of Babes from Kingsale Primary School, and that was the first thing I remember writing. And then from that, I've just been writing poems, skits, songs, short stories. So that's been it.
What inspired you to write this book?
Basically, like, coming to England, I was exposed to a lot of different things, and it made me feel like an outsider, but also, like, living in Montserrat, being that my mother was from St. Kitts, I always kind of felt like an outsider, so I observed a lot of different things, and because of that, I've always been observant, and some of the things that I saw, like black women going through differently to white women, and kind of like us, like, not knowing our worth in certain situations. Like, at 18, I wanted to write it, but obviously at 18, you don't know anything, and I just kept putting it off until, like, about 2 years ago, and I decided to do the research on all of the issues I felt like affected women, but more specifically Caribbean women, because, like, living in England, a lot of Caribbean people don't actually have an identity. There's people that will say, oh, yeah, my mother's from the Caribbean, but they couldn't tell you anything about the Caribbean, and I felt like a lot of people were lost. So I wanted to research and, like, actually share some of my experiences of some of the things that we do as Caribbean women at home and abroad, because some of us are so lost, and it's kind of like trying to, like, find a solution, but even if not finding a solution, like, saying something about it, so some people know that it's not only them that have gone through it, like things like domestic violence and, like, abortion and skin bleaching, and obviously like not feeling like as a black person you can get ahead. So that was it behind it, writing it for me. It's just something I felt that needed to be spoken about.
Right. Okay. So and what was the process like for you? Was it a difficult process?
Well, no, it wasn't difficult, because for me, with writing, once I get into it, it flows. So obviously, like, some of the topics, like, there's one about this girl that she works and everyone thinks she's confident, but her main reason for working is for supporting a man that she wants to keep in her life that doesn't do anything for her. And writing that was easy because I knew of a situation, but at the same time, I made sure that I researched every topic that I wrote on, like skin bleaching and stuff. There's a lot of stuff I learned about skin bleaching, like some of the not the things that it can do to you that are not obvious, because obviously, like, it damages your skin, but there's other things that can happen, like kidney failure and stuff like that, just from using the chemicals.
Right.
So it wasn't difficult. It was it just required a lot of patience, like, to get everything together and not making it seem like a documentary, but it actually being a novel and making it entertaining and interesting and actually making the reader wanting to read on to the next chapter.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Tell me a little bit about some of the characters in this, in the novel.
I think there's about, I think there's 8 characters.
Okay.
One of the characters goes over 3 chapters. One of the characters, her name is Sharif, and she's basically in a relationship where she's been abused by her boyfriend. Like, he physically abuses her, verbally abuses her, and she feels like she has to stay in it because she can't tell anyone, because if she tells anyone, she feels like she's failed herself, and the people will look down on her. So she stays in the situation and only gets out of it because her boyfriend's friend finds her being, like, basically on the brink of death, and obviously it becomes exposed. But then there's a next chapter that was from before, and she was actually in a relationship with another woman. And it kind of exposed, like, how we deal with homosexuality in the Caribbean.
Right.
And trying to say, like, is it their decision, or is it more based on what society sees as acceptable? So, like, with every single topic, it shows you what the character's doing, but actually what they're going through in their head, their thought process, and how the outside influences affects their decisions and how they carry out in that particular situation.
Mm-hmm. What is the message you like to send with this book? I mean,
the main message I want to send is that no matter what situation we are in, we're not alone. And I think one of the problems we have in the Caribbean as people, and a lot of the time as Caribbean women, we feel like we have to be strong. We're not allowed to cry. We're not allowed to talk about our problems. And I think it's necessary that if you have a problem, that you speak about it. Like, you have to heal, because even though you think that, oh, you don't want nobody to know your business, when you keep things inside of you, it manifests into different things in your life. It manifests into addiction. It manifests into you becoming unhappy, becoming overweight. It's just that we need to deal with it. And also, I wanted to explore, like, certain things, certain stereotypes that are placed on black people and Caribbean people.
right.
Because the whole thing about the lighter a person is, the more beautiful society sees them as. And, like, the whole skin bleaching situation, and kind of like how we deal with, like, homosexuality and domestic violence, because whether or not, like, we believe homosexuality is right or wrong, sometimes it's kind of like you have to, like, people make their own decisions. You can't hate someone for that. I feel like you can have your own opinion on a situation, but you have to allow people to make their own mistakes and to learn from it. Because it's hard enough that people are going through their own stuff, but sometimes all people need is understanding, and that no matter how much they feel, that someone will be there for them.
Right. I mean, tolerance is important.
Yeah, it is important, because at the same time, it's like, I grew up with a boy, and, like, he's gay. A lot of his family members are not happy about it, and it's like, it's not my choice, it's his choice, and I'm not going to not speak to him or change my relationship with him, because that is his choice.
Right.
Because if he had never said to a lot of people I'm gay, they would have not spoken to him. So why is it because he told me that I'm going to change my whole relationship? End of the day, it's their choice, and if there's like, obviously repercussions for that situation, it will be them that has to deal with it. It's not for us to try and run people's lives. But obviously, if someone's going through something detrimental, like being abused, that's when we need to be there for them and try and help them through the situation.
Right. So you've been promoting the book. You were at Litfest in Montserrat last year?
Yeah, I was there in November. It was the launch of my book and Howard Ferguson's book of poetry as well.
And what was that like?
It was good. It was good. It was a bit nerve-wracking, because you know when you put your heart and soul into something and then you have to share it with the world,
Right.
it makes you nervous, and I'm not naturally a nervous person because I've done a lot of things where I had to speak to people, but I was a bit nervous. But it was good because I was able to like talk to people about my book. I was able to sell copies. I was able to make people that didn't know about it a bit more aware of, like, yes, I have a book. And I did get good feedback because I did it on the Friday and I went back the Sunday, and someone that bought the book was like, I bought the book and I couldn't even go to sleep. I didn't want to go to sleep because I wanted to know what was going to happen next. And that was good because at least I get to know like straight from people how they're feeling it.
Right.
And yeah, that made me very proud. Before I even publish it, I got someone to read it. But someone I didn't even know, just a random woman, and she really, really liked it. And most people that have read it have really enjoyed it because the way that it's been structured and stuff like that, and how each character kind of like blends into the other one, and how it's like the whole flowing and meandering of the stories as well. All of the feedback I've had has been good, and there's men that have bought it as well, actually enjoyed it. So far so good.
Okay.
When I did when the book came out last year, I was a bit busy. I just bought a property and I was starting it up, so I haven't had a lot of time to even like do any promotions. But anything I can do to promote my book and put my book out there, I'll be doing. I'm gonna start doing like poetry. I do like poetry evenings and stuff like that.
Okay.
So that'll be another way to promote it. And I'm trying to start out doing a launch in London, but it's just finding something, because it is hard, like in nowadays to promote anything because there's so much competition. And with books, it's more like the celebrity books sell because obviously they have people behind them and pushing them. Whereas when you're someone that's unknown, everything is on you. You have to find different ways and different mediums to like get it out there. Right.
And it's available online where?
It's on Amazon.com, and you can order it from Amazon.com in the physical form. You can also get it on Amazon.com, Amazon UK, and Amazon Germany on Kindle. So so it is available online.
Are you going to be in the US anytime soon?
I am actually supposed to be in the US sometime this year because I'm going to see some family, but I will try and start out something because I was actually starting on something in regards to promoting it like last year, but it didn't come true because with starting out my property and stuff like that, things got a bit busy. But I will definitely be starting on something in probably in New York, because it seems like that's where everyone is, and it makes a lot of sense to just do it where like there's a higher amount of non-distractions as well. Obviously, I want to like get as much people as I can to know about my book, but I wanted to like do it where like there were non-distractions. No, I don't have a personal website, but I've got a page on Facebook.
Okay.
And it's called Jo-Annah Richards / The Ill Concepts for the Caribbean Woman. But if you just type in Jo-Annah Richards, it comes up, or if you just type in The Ill Concepts for the Caribbean Woman, it comes up. Chaotic Paradise. Enveloped in the smoke of destruction, my utopia of hope and determination. Your emulsifying black clouds and fire reveals your true desire. Paradise scarred by your fumes as clouds and fire. Fighting or fleeing is a perpetual dilemma. Notion of death sampled on the baseline of soca. Paradox state of mind, hell in heaven. Complex situation, from home your body's driven. Ectoplasm, my soul is tied to my land, my home. Physically, on a strange land my body roams. Yearning for home elongates my epic misery. Volcanic dormancy is my problematic mystery. Thank you.
Listen, we really like the book. I'm glad you introduced us to it.
Thank you very much.
And good luck with promoting it. And if there's anything else we can do to help you, just let us know.
Yep. Hopefully I'll be in Montserrat for St. Patrick's Day this year to do a bit more promotion.
Oh, okay, that'll be good.
Yeah, most definitely. But the book has actually been entered into some book prizes, so hopefully something comes out of that.
Okay.
So, this is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it forever.
This is Montserrat culture. We'll be proud of it